Hello and welcome again to more of Van Cortlandtville Historical Society's educational videos. This is another board game that would have been played in the 18th century. It's called the Game of Life, and it actually progresses a bit differently than the Game of Life we're familiar with. This would start with infancy, and you would roll dice and move your piece all along throughout adulthood, old age, and then it actually ends on the end of the character's life. And the idea is to get there the soonest, but you also can be gathering points in between. All of this writing here in the center explains that each place has a little bit of a story behind it. You can land on the docile boy. That's a positive thing, a well-behaved young child. So that piece landing there would probably gain you points that you might have tokens or coins that you would use as a point for the game. Other things are more negative. Over here we have the glutton, so someone who eats a lot and is kind of selfish and has a negative connotation. So that's something that you would probably have to lose the points that you had gained all the time building up. So it's a combination of a race like the board games we think of, but also gathering up points on your way through. This is another board game called the Royal and Most Pleasant Game of Goose. And unlike the Game of Life that would have been a game played among families at home, this was mostly an adult game and might have been played in taverns. It uses the same idea of spiraling around through rolling dice, and the idea is to get to the end. Because it's a tavern game, it probably was being played with real money instead of points, with people putting in coins or taking them out from the center. And that's directed by landing on the pieces that have images. And again, you would look in the center to see what that image means and what you either gain or lose. Whoever reached the end would then get the whole pot of what was left over at the end of the game.